Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Paula Empty Nester at 40 here. Thanks for joining me today. We are going to be using this sign that I picked up around Easter time from the Dollar Tree. You can either use these stickers, some stencils, or make your own stencil like I did using my Cricut machine and some vinyl shelf liner from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to be using linen white chalk paint to paint my sign, jute twine, a Sharpie black marker, as well as my paintbrush. I picked up this glass milk jug from the Dollar Tree. I've already painted it using the linen white chalk paint just to give it time to dry. Actually, I had it for another project. I have these, they're more like a beige, I guess, mums. That I picked up from the Dollar Tree, or I have these lamb's ears that I picked up from Walmart. And I have my scraper, my scissors, and my utility blade, and my ruler. And these are optional. I will let you know what I do with them. All right, so to start off with my project, what I'm going to first do is I'm going to remove the jute from the top of the sign, as well as remove those metal accents that the sign has. I don't know if everybody remembers these signs around Easter time. They had these little metal galvanized little accent pieces that just pop up really easily. And I'm also going to remove the sticker from the back and sand it down lightly. Now, usually I always use the front of my sign to do my projects. I like to have that finished look, but in this case, I'm actually going to just do all my decorating and painting on the back of the sign, and I will go back later and just either cover the other side of the sign or just leave it as is. So I wanted to keep that shiplap or wood paneling look that the other side of the sign had. So what I'm going to do, and this is completely optional, is I'm going to take my utility blade, I have my ruler down, and I'm just going to score the back of the sign in two areas to give it that look of having the three panels, the three wood panels. Now, if you don't have a utility blade or you'd rather not do this type of scoring or work, you can simply do the same concept with just your black Sharpie marker by just grabbing your ruler, tracing the line down, and then maybe sanding it to give it that more of a weathered look so that the lines don't stand out as much. Once I have this completed, I'm simply going to paint my sign. I give it about 1 to 2 coats of the linen white chalk paint. I allow it to dry fully before I move on to the next step. Now that my sign is completely dry, you can see the defined lines that I scored using my utility blade. Again, you don't have to do that method. You can always, once the paint is dry, go in with your Sharpie marker and draw the lines to make it that, or to give it that shiplap, paneled look. I'm just simply sanding it a little bit here before I place my stencils down. Now, just a reminder, I made my stencil using my Cricut and some shelf liner that I bought at the Dollar Tree. However, you can always use these stickers or even other stencils that you can get either at Walmart or at the Dollar Tree. Use what you have. Use what works for you, obviously. So I'm just simply placing my stencil down. I'm going to position it where I want to position it. There's a few extra steps that I take just again because I'm using a stencil that I created using my cutting machine, and I am going to use Waverly chalk paint. I believe in the color Elephant is the color that I'm using. I honestly can't remember the name of the color. It's the grayish tone color. I believe it's Elephant. So I'm going to take my small little dabby sponges and not putting a lot on there. I'm going to dab motions to ensure that the paint does not bleed outside of my stencil. As I wait for my stencil to dry, I take my glass milk jug and I'm positioning it where I want it to be placed. So I'm going to take the jute twine. I cut a pretty long piece off, and I am going to wrap it around the neck of the glass milk bottle a few times, and then I'm going to tie a knot in the back. And I do apologize, this did not stay in the frame of the camera. I tried to show it as much as I remembered, but for some reason I just kept coming up on it and it was out of frame, so I do apologize. But I'm simply taking the jute twine, wrapping it around the neck of the glass bottle a few times. I will tie a knot in the back and then I will hot glue it, and it will in essence just hang. So if I grabbed the jute twine, the bottle would just be hanging. Now that the jute twine is tied to the neck of the bottle, I'm simply going to take some hot glue, place it on the glass bottle, and then place the glass bottle on the sign. I always have problems with my glue gun, as I'm having here. I also have an issue where I placed some hot glue on it, put the bottle on the sign, and the hot glue dried prior to me being able to secure the bottle in the place that I wanted it to be in. Please, if you're looking for a permanent hold, I would strongly suggest that you use E6000 or something similar. Hot glue will not give you a permanent strong hold for a glass bottle that you're trying to attach to a sign. Gravity will eventually win. So just keep that in mind. But you do what you like to do with your crafts. So once I have this glued down, which does take me at least 2 tries to get it glued down, I will continue on with my DIY. Once it's as secured as hot glue will get it to be, I simply just take the jute twine, run it up to the top and then to the back of the sign. And I'm simply just going to add a dab of hot glue to the jute twine at the top of the sign, on the back side of it. Again, so sorry that it is not in the frame of the video. I truly do apologize for that, but I'm simply wrapping the jute twine over the top of the sign and hot gluing it there. I will cut off any of the excess of the jute twine shortly. So now I'm going to remove carefully my stencil and make sure that there is no bleeding. There actually was absolutely no bleeding. I truly believe in the little dabby motions when you're using stencils to try to eliminate any bleeding. The only thing that I do need to correct is at the top, which I knew I was going to have to correct because I went a little crazy with the big foam brush, and as I was dabbing, I accidentally dabbed outside of where the stencil was. So I just have to correct that at the top. And I will show that briefly so that you can see there's no bleeding except for at the top where I went a little crazy. Final stretch of this DIY. Now it's time to just add some floral arrangements to my glass milk bottle. Like I said, I started with these, I think they're beige. I guess they're like a beige color mum. And all I did was push all the greenery all the way to the bottom and then bend the bottom portion of the wire, and then just pushed the flower bunch into the glass bottle. I liked how it looked, but I think it needed a little bit of a pop of color, and this just wasn't enough color. But what I like about this project is you can literally use the colors of the flowers or picks that you choose to put into the little glass milk jug can go with the season that it is. So now I'm also just jumping back to the project, simply just cutting off any excess jute from the back of the sign. And now I'm just going to put a little piece of jute twine back through the original holes of the sign so that I can hang it on the wall. I did have a little bit of difficulties with this, so I had to grab some hot glue and put some hot glue on the edge of at the end of the jute twine in order to be able to thread it through the holes. And here is my finished DIY. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I hope it inspired you to make your own home sign that you can decorate for all seasons with the floral picks that you choose. If you're new here and you like this video, please consider hitting the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you're notified whenever I upload a video. If you're returning and you have already subscribed to my channel, thank you so very much. Have a wonderful day.